Hi, I'm Elaine Harding. Welcome to my blog at stampwithelaine.com. Today I'm going to feature the Aspen Tree dies. I touched on it earlier in the week. These are the dies, and today I'm going to make a card with it. The Aspen Tree dies are currently in the July to December mini in 2022. And you can find it on page 46. The stamp set that coordinates with it is called Perched in a Tree. It's available as a bundle so that you save 10%. During celebration, these dies are one of the items that has been selected as a celebration item. You need to use the special code. I'll include that in my videos. It will also be on my blog. So if you qualify with a £90 purchase, you can redeem the Aspen Tree dies against your celebration item, and the code for that is 163102. Don't use the item code in the catalogue or the online store, because then you have to pay the retail price. So you need that special code. This is a really easy, quick card using the Aspen Tree dies. This die will cut out a frame and you put paper behind it to make the profile of the trees pop. Then there's the branch, which also matches the stamped image, and the bird, which also matches the stamped image. This one die cuts a sort of floral accent. You can use it on the end of this branch, or you can use it on the tree. I have separated the trees from the frame and used them individually like this. The inks I'm using are Tuxedo Black, Memento Ink, Bermuda Bay, and these are the blends I'm using. Crumb Cake, Soft Suede, So Saffron and Bermuda Bay, and a wink of Stella, the Iridescent Pearl Basic Jewels. You'll also need some very vanilla scrap to stamp and die cut the sentiment, the bird and the branch. I'm using the Pretty Prince designer series paper. There are 4 each of 3 double-sided designs. So this is the colourways. Unfortunately, that's all I've got left of the whole. So that's what it looks like in the 4 colours, and that's the reverse. Then there's this design, and that's the reverse. So that's plain on the other side. And there's more ferns on here, and that's the reverse. Actually 12 by 12 inch sheets, but I've cut them down to 6 by 6. I'm using very vanilla thick, and this is 5 3/4 by 8 1/4, so that's 14.5 by 21 centimeters, and folded in half. The matte layer is cut out of the Pretty Prince designer series paper, and it's larger than usual because I've got to accommodate die cutting the frame with this large die in very vanilla, which goes on top. So this one is 4 inches by 5 5/8, and in metric I've done a precise conversion because there's very little room to cut this piece from the cardstock. So that will be 10.2 centimeters by 14.2 centimeters. So the second matte layer is cut from very vanilla ordinary cardstock, and this is 3 7/8 by 5 1/2, so that's 9.8 by 13.8 centimeters. You see, it just only barely fits. If I do any smaller than that, then I won't be able to frame it. Then for the inside of the card is just a standard one, which is 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, and in metric that will be 9.5 by 14 centimeters. So let's glue this to our card front first. Next Next we want to die cut this, so make sure that your sides are equidistant. This is an egg shape, so you want the larger bit at the bottom. So put it on your sandwich, platform 1, the thin die adapter platform 2, your base cutting plate platform 3, cardstock followed by the die cutting edge face down and a second platform 3, and you're ready to run it through the machine. So I'll do that off camera. Apply adhesive to the back and center that onto your card and glue it down. Bring in your scrap piece of very vanilla cardstock and ink up the stamps. This is the branch. And next you want the bird. Change ink pads and stamp the sentiment as well in Bermuda Bay. And while I've got my stamps out, I'll stamp the inside of the card as well. Take this splatter and I'm going to stamp off first and stamp on, and use the other finer splatter to stamp on top. Glue this to the inside of the card. Oh no, I've glued it to the wrong side. Silly me. Rescued it just in time. Next I'm going to do my colouring, and I will speed this up. The bird's head and body will be in Bermuda Bay, the beak in So Saffron, the branch in the crumb cake combo, and maybe a bit of the shadow with the soft suede. Then I'll follow it up with a wink of Stella. Now I'm going to fussy cut this sentiment, and I'll speed it up. So now I need to do a bit of die cutting, so it's platform 1, platform 2, the thin die adapter, platform 3, the cardstock dies cutting edge face down, the second platform 3, and I'm ready to run it through the machine. I'll be back. Now I've put dimensionals on the back of this, and I trimmed the branch, so I want that to be within the card so it doesn't jut out. Then pop the bird so that his tail touches the branch, then pop the sentiment underneath here and finish off with an iridescent pearl. Before I go, I thought I'd show you another colourway. That was using the Blackberry Bliss one, and by using a different stamp set, it doesn't have to be the Perched in a Tree, but this Happy Hedgehog one, I did that, and I think the sentiment's from the Peekaboo frame one, and I used the punch, and then for the inside of the card I just did a little mushroom. So I hope you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Do give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I'd really appreciate it if you shared it as well. Thanks for joining me today. All the supplies are listed below. You can also find me on Facebook, Pinterest or Instagram, and if you'd like to read more, then hop over to my blog. The link is also below this video in the Show More section. Thanks for watching. Bye.